my dear friends, and welcome to Mystic Star Magic. I am so happy that you are here as we find out what's happening with you this week. So we're going to have tarot cards, oracle cards, and, just try to get in to see what really is happening and maybe how to, make your week even better. So this is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4 and pile 5. And so I've been trying to add a little bit more piles, make things a little bit different here. So hopefully you'll like it. And if you do want to book a personal reading, their information is down below. Or if you want to donate to the channel, that information is down below. And you're also going to find the information for the oracle decks and tarot that I use. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Close our eyes, clear our mind. Now as we exhale, let's choose whichever pile draws you to it. Alright, let's do this. Now pile 1, my friends. Oh, I'm so happy you are here. Let's see what this week is all about. So we have the Eagle King. This is the energy important. So the bigger picture, we want to look at the bigger picture. We don't want smaller focus. We want bigger focus. And then we also have sacred unions, a partnership and romance. So maybe romance might be playing a game. Might be something that's coming this week or it's important. Let me actually look at these 2 cards and just see what really Spirit wants me to see. So here I'm almost like with the eagle there. Actually the wings are sort of here, but the wings are kind of in your you can actually see in the head here. It almost feels like your thoughts. Almost kind of, how do I want to say, and there is angelic help, which I do like, but what I'm seeing here is mostly like kind of letting your ideas really flourish. Like I almost feel like kind of doing a brain dump, if you will, where you write out all your thoughts or maybe all your ideas. I just feel like there is a need for you to get them from in your head down a little bit further. I would even say, if you can, this week might be a good week for if you like to do 1-year plans or 5-year plans. This might be a good week for you to do that, because I feel like you can actually see the bigger picture, not just so focused on the immediate. So with the partnership and romance, okay, so I do feel like there is a sense of course, there's connection coming through, and that's an important thing, but I do see the sword being brought down. I almost feel like for some of you that maybe if this week is if you're having a little bit of difficulty in terms of love or something, maybe I feel like the bringing down the defenses where it's coming through here. It's almost like you're opening up to this, opening up to love coming through as well. Yeah, I very much feel like divine feminine and divine masculine coming together perfectly. Both of them, in order for you to really connect with others, there's a need for you to kind of bring down the walls and the defenses here. Maybe even again, look at the bigger picture, not so into the details, especially if things are blocking your path. Don't think that it's oh my goodness. It's more like finding that balance. I don't know why that's what I'm saying, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here. We do have the 9 of Swords. Okay, so that's important. That energy of 9 of Swords. We do have the King of Cups, emotions coming through. We have the 3 of Disc and that's the 3 of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Wands. Okay. Right off the bat, I'm also look at this. I want you to see these 2 swords are also facing down. There's a sense of there's a defense coming down, maybe even because I feel like this is coming from a place of fear. So when we have usually when we have our defenses up, it's from either past hurt, but it's always stemming from fear. That's kind of whatever fear it is, there's just that fear that's coming through here. Yeah, and then this 3 of Pentacles, it's always about collaboration. It might be collaborating with two different people, especially like maybe a Sagittarius and a Pisces here, or a fire sign and a water sign here. But what I'm seeing, it's like collaborating here between two elements which we would think that are kind of like would not mesh, which is the water and the fire sign. But I feel like where I always think the cups and the wands energy, the fire, it always comes through for me is the imagination. It's the dreaming aspect of it, right? The fire sign, the wand sign, is all about imagination in terms of like this passion and like this creativity coming through. It's like, oh, that's that energy. But the water sign, if you actually just water, there is also a sense of motion. They're actually both are very, the water sign may be a little more subtle, but they're both very powerful energies. So what I'm seeing here with the King of Cups energy is like emotions coming through, but the creation, because to me the King of Cups is like somebody who can do poetry but knows what they want. These both represent needing action though, right? There is a sense of we need to get out of our head, we need to get out of this energy of like feeling, because the Nine of Swords is like we're stuck in our fear, right? The fear just kind of, it's usually like here we have a little kid who's like kind of covering himself up, trying to like protect himself, but usually it's somebody in a bed that is like trying to cover themselves up, trying to kind of hide away from everything. But the monsters are still there because the monsters are in our head. The fear is coming through us, from us, within us, right? That's kind of what it is. And so even if we hide, even if we close our eyes, guard ourselves, if we don't, if since they're coming from within us, it's kind of not hopeless. It's like not going to change anything until we change. So this is what it's saying here. Instead of just being here in this state of fear, we need to start moving forward. We need to start actually taking action. The king energy is action based, right? Here we have the creativity, the passion. Here we have emotions, but again, with a sense of creativity. And again, with this Three of Pentacles, is a collaboration between maybe our own elements here, or maybe it actually might be two different people who are there to help us get us out of this Nine of Swords energy. So this is like, it's a very beautiful energy coming through. I do want to see a little bit more of what's what is happening here. What is happening with the collective of group 1? And I'm using V11 crystals, lavender dreams combined with feelings in bloom. And we already have chocolate here. So this is celebration, love and rewards, or toxic addictions, indulgences, or temptations. And that toxic indulgences may be that you're feeling that Nine of Swords. It's like we kind of feel stuck, but it could just be that there is like, look, I do feel like, for some of you, sorry, the sacred union kind of, well, the sacred union does to me seem like partnership between these two elements. So for me, that's important. But for some of you, maybe this is like you have two different types of suitors coming through here. And I'm also saying that because there is a heart-shaped cookie, a hunger for love or fulfillment, broken hearts and promises, yeah? And then we have chocolate, celebration, love, rewards, toxic addiction, indulgence, and temptation. So it does seem like there is a sense of love and celebration wanting to come through, like kind of coming together with things. So there is a sense of love coming through here. So love might be something that is paying something important this week, playing an important role this week, if you will. Let's actually see, maybe there's a little bit more. What else is happening to collective of group 1 this week? Important stuff that's coming. We have isolation. Oh, there's that sign. That's the and this is Once Upon a Dream by Moonwrath Goddess. So that's the Nine of Swords. We feel we are isolated in our own spheres, right? We isolate ourselves, and I feel like the universe is saying like, no, you have all these, like, you have a lot of help coming through, even here, angelic help. We have it, and then you just need to kind of, I feel like, collaborating with that. The only way to get out of isolation is to collaborate, is to join others. I've often been lately in this energy a lot, so I know what that's like. But connect to others, connect, and I feel like that's gonna help you a lot. And there is like, look, there is a possibility of celebration for some of you. Like, maybe even feel like celebrating some graduation or something like that. There's a sense of coming here. I also feel like the King of Cups here is cheering you. Like, yes, we're cheering something. We're moving forward here. Oh, I love this. And a hunger for love, fulfillment. I feel like if we're looking for love, then that's the answer. It's already giving us the answer, right? You have to bring down that defensive sword, right? That's the answer coming through. And the swords are very much our own fear. Like, that's that again, isolation. How can and it's always funny because we often are like, oh, I don't like being alone, or we're looking for love, but we're blocking ourselves because we're afraid, right? But sometimes we don't even acknowledge that. Planning. So what do we need to do? We need to paint the bigger picture. We need to, again, like I said, this is a planning kind of week. For me, it just feels like it's a planning week. Getting all those ideas down, getting all that like passion, all those different things. 5-year plan. If you can do it, go for it. Oh, and I love this. And an unbreakable bond. For some of you, maybe some of you might get married. Some of you might be like getting engaged. But again, it's also like it is a secret union. So this is important. Whether it's a secret union with yourself, right? Our own self that we're kind of coming back to our like this energy of the fire and the water, and somehow blending it together, helping us. Or whether it's an actual like union, where it's like it's a strong thing, but in order to be an unbreakable bond, it is like it's a give and take. That's what I'm seeing here. So lots of actually beautiful energy. Don't let this fear stop you. What I'm seeing here is do not isolate yourself. There's no need for it. There's people around you that are there that can help you. That's what I'm seeing here. So I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do consider subscribing. It helps my channel grow and it keeps me motivated to come back and making more videos. I have to be brutally honest. That's kind of what it is. I'm like, yeah, I do love doing it. So I'm always grateful that regardless, you came here and you shared your time, you shared your energy, and of course you shared your journey with me, and I value that a lot. So thank you. I am sending you so much love, so much light until I see you in the next one. Bye bye, my dear friends. Oh, my dear friends, welcome. Oh, look at you. You have the phoenix. Oh, I should flip you over so you can actually see. But anyways, we have the rebirth coming through and the High Lady of Love and Compassion. Now, this seems like there is love in the air for some of us. Because it's there for group 1 as well. So we have revere, reverence, kindness, and consideration. So it's sort of like unconditional love is coming through here. We have the bee, so maybe with to do with work, hummingbird, joy, and the little fairies. I feel like it's almost like taking the time out to like actually see the smaller things. The little hummingbird, the joy of that, right? So we have resurrection, surrender to change. And so what I'm seeing here, again, there's a sense of birds, so it's a sense of flight, a sense of freedom here wanting to come out. But also, now when we're going through this surrender to change, right, it's like, well, when we're changing, one of the hardest things for doing the change is actually having compassion with ourselves and even compassion with others, but I think mostly compassion with ourselves. So when we're going through change, we often either want to speed it up or kind of stop it out, because it usually feels a bit uncomfortable. The phoenix, I love the representation of the phoenix. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful, because you're coming from the ashes. So what are the ashes? The ashes are something that is the old, right? This is old habits, old patterns, might be old relationships, like, and then to think that, like there's this transformation coming, you come out from the ashes and you're reborn again, right? You're reborn into this like phoenix, beautiful fire energy. And it's sort of similar in terms of like water and water with the high lady of love and compassion, and then the phoenix, which is more fire for me, right? So those elements are important this week, I think, in general. Sorry, just had to get that out there. But what we often forget is the process of the rebirth, the process of the resurrection is kind of, you are having to surrender to change, right? And change is not necessarily easy because we have, up to this point, we've had habits, we've had ways of being that have helped us to get to where we are right now. So changing that is different. So what I'm seeing here is a sense of having that compassion with yourself, as this might be, as you navigate it. It might be a little tough. It's not necessarily always easy to go through change, right? I'll be the first one to tell you that. So we do have the Prince of Cups, and again, look, there's a sense of birds. Again, there's a lot of death, which makes a lot of sense with the Phoenix. We have Five of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, look at that. And then the Prince of Cups is actually quite interesting to me, because it's always an offer of love, and an offer of love coming through again here. But with the Scorpio energy, which is really represented by the shield, this is actually quite fascinating to me, because it's like, it almost feels like there's an energy of protection. There's an energy of, although love is being offered, there's still like a need for protection. And that's this Nine of Wands, right? We are in our defenses. And I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing. It's just something we need to be aware of, that our defenses are up right now. When we're going through changes, where we surrender, there's a sense of needing to guard, right? We are seeing here this Five of Cups energy, which is, again, right, the reason why we're changing. Why are we the Phoenix? Because we come from the ashes, right? This is the Five of Cups energy, in terms of like, there is a regret, right? There's maybe spilled milk, as some people say, but this is almost like there's nothing left. This actually quite reminds me of Eight of Cups, or like the beginning of the Eight of Cups. You've decided, you're already seeing that there is nothing left, right? You just can't seem to see that there's this Two of Cups. There's this love, compassion coming through. Very desolate. And then we have the Death card, but there's nothing we can do, even if we hide ourselves from it. The ending is here. The death is here. Even if we wanted to, we can't go back. We can't go back to how it was. We can't go back to who we were. The change is inevitable. That is, I think that's sort of what I'm seeing here. Surrender to change, because I almost feel like you don't want the change. I think you want to go back. You want to, like, there's that spilled milk. It's like you want to go back to how things were, but we cannot. And I want you to feel that compassion to yourself, because that is that's hard. Like, if we were like, but that was better back then, or we felt more comfortable back then, and now we're in this state of like the Phoenix, where we're in that process. So we do need to have a lot of compassion. And for some of you, I just feel like there might be an offer of love, but you might not be able to see it, right? Because we're not quite ready. Our defenses are still up from this pain that came from here, from this broken heart. And I feel like the Death card, though, is kind of really calling to me, even though it's like, look at all these bones here. Again, it's almost like this, and it's a sort of like, isn't it interesting? I'm almost seeing like this person wants you to look at them, but you're like, nope, can't look. The graveyard of past lives, right? The graveyard of who we used to be. But there is a lot of strength in this Death card, if you actually see it. And actually, the Prince of Cups being the Scorpio energy is very fitting to the Phoenix, because Scorpio is that energy. It's very much the Phoenix energy. It's one of it's one of those really intense signs. But again, like the Death card is like, I think you have to be willing to face those endings, face the new beginnings coming your way, acknowledging that there's just like, those are just bones now. And again, look at this. You are actually quite well guarded here. This also almost feels like you are protected by both sides because the death is guarding you. And I feel like the Nine of Wands is guarding you. Which is, like I said, I didn't think the Nine of Wands was a bad energy. I sometimes I'm like, oh, that's kind of blocking you. No, I feel like you need that guard because you're going through this transformation. But now you have to stop hiding and acknowledge this because you are very powerful with that Death card and the Nine of Wands and even the Prince of Cups here coming through here. There is a lot of sense of power that you're just not quite connecting to because of this Five of Cups. Now let's see what other stuff comes through here. Let's see. Now I am using V11 crystals. A mix of her lavender love, dreams, and feelings in bloom. Okay, let's see what this one wanted to come out. Disappointment. Oh, I didn't need it anyway. Oh yeah, see, that's that energy of the Five of Cups coming through here. This one, of course. So, what do I feel like disappointment? Just acknowledging. I think part of our problem with or what stops from this surrendering to change, right? Surrendering to things is that we usually kind of keep those. We are trying to hold on to these emotions, trying not to really feel them, or by kind of pushing them away, we're still not feeling them. And so I feel like this is the week where we do feel them because you're going through this change. And I do want to show you the pendulum, which is always kind of guiding us. So we have, considering multiple choices, there is a possibility of indecision, confusion, and fear of change. This is what I feel like you're blocking. Yeah. And why I think that's important is because the more you block it, the more you make it tough on yourself. So that's why I'm like, that makes it a little harder for you. If we allow, right, if we surrender to the change, it actually goes much smoother, and it actually, or we surrender to the compassion, right? I feel like to having compassion to ourselves, and to others maybe in this process, but I feel like to ourselves as we go through it, it will make it a lot easier, and it won't be as traumatic. Like let's see what other stuff is coming for this week. I'm using Once Upon a Dream, Oracle by Moonmouth Goddess. So heartbreak, yeah. Look at that. Oof. I know. I should have, like, I really do feel you. I'm like, I know what you're going through. I do. We're blinded. There's another sense of being blinded again coming through. And that's because we're hiding from ourselves. We're trying, like, we keep avoiding this change that is inevitable. And I think that's sort of, wow, and look at that barrier. We're blocking a lot of energy coming through. Wow. Helpless. Oh. I'm like, oh. So it's an intense week, but it's not a bad week. What it is that we're actually facing our kind of like, we're facing ourselves this week. We feel that we are helpless. We feel this heartbreak, and we feel that we cannot see stuff. But I feel like the Death card is there to show you that how strong you are. Even the Prince of Cups even is coming through here, how strong you are. Even the Nine of Wands here is telling you are very strong. But you're kind of caging yourself. This is also feeling like an Eight of Swords energy where you're blocking yourself. You're not helpless, my friend. You are not. I feel like that is what it's like. That compassion and allowing that change to come through is coming very strong. So be easy with yourself this week, my friends. Be easy with yourself. Change is like that. Those people who say like, oh, you just kind of like, it's not a Hollywood movie where all of a sudden you're changed and boom, everything becomes better. No, the change process is actually quite daunting, especially because I think our natural state of wanting is not to be in a state of change, but we are always in a state of change, right? So we always want the comfort of what we know. And yes, but I feel like with that Death card, it really calls out to me. I think you're going to get through this just fine. Like, you're going to find your inner strength, my friends, and that's what you're looking for. But what I'm seeing is have compassion for yourself and compassion with others as well, because they might be going through this as well. we don't know what goes on in other people's lives. And so sometimes somebody might, do something. And also be aware that I feel like with that Prince of Cups, there might be like some sort of maybe offer or somebody who compliments you. Don't take it the wrong way. Hope that makes sense. But I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. It just helps me stay motivated and coming back for more. But I appreciate that you are here sharing your energy, sharing your time, and of course sharing your journey with me. I am sending you so much love, so much light. Until I see you in the next one. Bye bye, my dear friends. Friends, and you chose the Sun Dancer. Oh, such an interesting, I like this energy. So joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. Wow. I mean, can that be any more awesome? And then we also have, you have 3 cards. Here we have. Love that. You have the Eyes of Beauty, and then, which is positive expectation, clarity, and the Altar of Priestess, preparation, prayer, and secret ritual. So, this is what I was actually looking at. This Sun Dancer, this joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance comes from this, right? If you can look at whatever situation is happening, regardless, if you can look at it with this positive expectation and see the truth, the clarity behind it, right? That is very important. I also feel like you have a lot of, well, for some of you, maybe this week is a good time for doing some sort of rituals, but prayer for me is also important. Because, I like the idea of prayer. So it's really connecting, I think, to your own power here as well. So this is all coming. You are creating this. I want to say this joyful activity, celebration of life. You are creating this with this Eyes of Beauty. What is interesting to me is that there is a sort of like, even though there is this Eyes of Beauty and positive expectation, there's almost a sense of silence coming with this, like, I feel like a barrier of the mouth here. So this is actually quite interesting for me because I feel like I normally would say maybe watch, that's what I'm seeing here, maybe not involving yourself, or maybe not sharing your opinion until you've actually watched something, right? Sometimes in silence we see a lot more than if we were able to see much clearer, right? When we are observing, not engaging. That makes sense. So this week might be a good week for observation. We have the 8 of Wands, so first motion coming through. We have the King of Disc, King of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Disc, 4 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wow. So you have a lot of you have a lot of fire and earth energy. What is interesting to me here is this. So again, abundance is coming through here with this King of Disc and King of Pentacles. And you know what I always think when I see the King of Pentacles? I always think of somebody, especially because usually how it is, somebody who can look out into the expanse of all the things they've done and just be grateful for what they have. They have a lot, right? There is usually a person, a man with like a king that's with a dog and like a cake or some sort of like something, looking into all the things he has, right? And that's the energy I feel like if you can actually, and regardless of how much you have here, if you can actually acknowledge all that you have, I feel like that abundance and the joyful, it is like that positive expectations, the eyes of seeing abundance, I guess, your sight of abundance. So this is important coming through. Appreciation of all that you do have. This 4 of Disc, it's sort of interesting because the 4 of Disc is always about like maybe feeling scarcity, but for me this one isn't. It's kind of like using the things you have, which it could be money, in a smart way, like using saving in a smart way, but it's like acknowledging that you do have a lot, and I feel like it's like you are by kind of holding on to it, but I don't feel like this card is not telling me like to kind of keep it in from scarcity, but holding on to it from appreciation. I don't know, that's the feeling that I'm getting here. I'm also seeing this 8 of Wands, right? As if some sort of ideas, and I'm pairing it with this Ace of Wands. So it is like some sort of ideas that are coming, some sort of passion stuff coming, like creativity, It's just like a flash of ideas that is going to just kind of take you and make you really active. That Eight of Wands is like quick moving, and with this, and it's coming from, if you actually see, it's around this guy's head. To me, it's like a lot of different ideas and different possibilities coming through. And then what I'm seeing is here that we need to take action with this Ace of Wands, because I think that is the key to abundance. I did do a reading on abundance and care, so if you if you want, you could check that one out. It might give you more ideas, but this is what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing here, so if you've been worried about money, the universe is saying, no, you have a lot. Just how it depends on your perspective, almost like how you look at things. Do you look at like the things that you don't have, or do you see the abundance that you do have? And then very much the creativity coming through, very, very strong. Super important, super important. Let's see what other things are happening this week for you. What's happening? We have mysterious. So there's more to me than what you see. So oh, look, and it's again like it's, I really feel like the way you look at things, the way you're perceiving stuff, right, is important. Again, abundance is all around here, right? Do you see the abundance? And also here, it also reminds me a lot of like kind of blending in, observing this week, rather than like not like yes, there's a standout quality, but it's almost like this week is all about observing. We do have being tense, so breathe, release, repeat. If you're feeling like you don't have enough, there's a sense of like this reading this week is all about like look at what you do have, the abundance that you do have. That's very important coming through. Oh my God, I kid you not. Sunglasses, look at that. I'm like telling you, there's something about eyes and how you perceive the world here. So sunglasses, cool, laid back, relaxed attitude, pessimistic view on the bad before seeing the good. Yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore, friends. This is all about positive expectations, where this is weak. This is how we get this joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. And also for those of you who are struggling with maybe finances or whatever it is that or ideas or clarity that you're missing, maybe it is maybe doing some sort of like for a ritual for it, maybe prayer, like that might be helpful as well. So that is something that I will say. Let's see what other things are happening for this week. And this is Feelings in Bloom by V Love and Crystals, and this is Lavender Dreams by V Love and Crystals. And now we're going to use Once Upon a Dream Oracle by Moon Moth Goddess. Oh yeah, let's see. We have destiny. Wow, look at that. And your destiny is that carriage. Your destiny, you think that it's not happening, but things are moving, my friend. And this is another kind of confirmation of motion forward. Eight of Wands with that one as well. So opportunities. Oh my goodness, I love this. Look at this. Opportunities, they're coming, my friends. Can you see them though? That's the thing. Can you see them? Are you going to be able to see those opportunities? Are you going to see that door that's going to open? Or are you going to not see it at all? Sort of like, or are we going to destroy those? No. You have, I really do think that's an important thing this week. Looking at things from not a half empty, but a half full kind of perspective. And that's going to be how you have this amazing like sun dancers, joyful celebration of life and abundance, and also how you get this new, like, for me, a new beginning of passion, new ideas, creativities coming through. Whew, I feel it, and I'm very happy feeling. So I do like it. I hope you like this reading. If you did like it, please do consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. It helps me come back and gets me motivated to come back for more. I thank you so much. I appreciate that you are sharing your energy, sharing your time, of course, sharing your beautiful journey with me. Until I see you in the next one, I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Bye-bye, my dear friends. Hello, my dear friends. And you chose the Queen of Light. I love this. Yes, and light and the Ring of Scrutiny. So those are two energies that are important this week. So discernment, clear vision, and detail. So looking at the details, my friends, this is what's important. I also feel like there's a magic wand coming through here. And look at that. And it's like a little mouse that's looking at the little details. So we have that. And the Queen of Light, illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. So by looking at the details, we might get clarity. right? I also feel like how whenever I see this Queen of Light, there's a sense of needing to share that light with you, like that you have with others. I do see that it's like almost like this energy. So coming down, I feel like there's a lot of maybe downloads coming this week for you, my friends. But it is just, look at that. Even if there's clouds, there's light coming out. So I feel like if you've been having a rough time, my friends, the sun is coming out, but the sun comes especially from within. That's the thing that I feel like. It's a sense of comes from within. Yeah, look at that. Let's see what with the Tower House. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles, beautiful energy. We have 9 of Pentacles, nice. We have this, love it. And then the 10, oh wow, 10 of Cups. Look at that. Is that not a beautiful? We do have kind of like almost saying like an ending, but a happy ending coming through with those 10s. So 10 of Pentacles, feeling that abundance. I do feel like this week can bring a lot of progress because we have from the 9 we go to the 10, and then the Sun, which is the overall energy. Again, light, being light, being, you know, regardless of what is happening, there is a sense of the light always comes from within, and then when we shine onto others, we actually get reflected that light back even more. So hope that makes sense, because that's what I'm seeing here. Like there's so much joy and happiness. I feel like family is also important for you this week. Children might be important as well. I feel like connecting also to your inner child, like those two cups are kind of, for me, that's important. Like going into your inner child, just kind of having fun this week. Don't get bogged down by things. And like although we do like the details and having that clarity, don't get bogged down by too much by that. I feel like really connecting to what makes you feel right, like happy, and what brings you that light. Like how can you share your light? That's what I'm seeing here, because again, the sun is coming through, and that's all about joy and beautiful celebrations and happiness and well-being. Yeah, very strong feeling here. Okay, what else wants to come through for the collective? Group 4, collective group 4. Okay. Oh, look at that. So we do have these, and I do like that there's a little bit of sense coming through. So we frightened, I bravely face all my obstacles, and regretful, I release blame and guilt. And so I feel that this is the clearing, this is the light that's coming through. If whatever it is that you've been regretting, right, it is, you just need, I feel like this week is going to help you clear those things. Again, coming from like the light is within. Like that's so important. And then frightened, I bravely face all my obstacles. Again, this is also like a sunflower. Feels like there's a lot of sun energy, like their fire energy, but for me it's more like it just is. It's just light. It's that's what I'm seeing here. Like you can overcome all these things, and I feel like you have. Oh, look at that. So we have a new relationship that is going well, or love lost, romantic disappointment. So this might be the regret. Maybe this is for you in the past. You're like, oh my goodness. Like there was the pain of losing somebody. But I feel like instead of staying in this energy, and what I'm seeing here is that we move forward into this energy of like 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. It feels like you're clearing that, and you've achieved a new sense of who you are here. It almost kind of is a sort of the progress between, I forget if it was, I think it was group, yeah, it was group 2. It's sort of like they were like the before you, right? This is the clouds that was there before, and now you're more in a sense of clarity and a sense of releasing. So I feel like you're the progress. So hopefully they'll get here soon too. Let's see what other things are coming for the collective group 4. Okay. Planning. Oh, planning came out too again. So again, this is sort of the discernment, clear vision, and the details. So maybe planning For what? Because I do see, like I said, this to me is like a 2 tens is like there's a sort of like an ending, right? So what are we planning for? What else now? What do we want more now, right? We've achieved something here. We've some sort of achievement here. What do we want to do next, right? There's a sense of newness also, like once things come to an end, we have a new beginning. So what is it that you want? It's interesting that we have trapped. I'm like, oh, because I'm like the tarot cards are saying, oh, these are all awesome. Look at that. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, and we have illumination. Again, illumination. Illumination is like the light is really important for you. For some of you, lighting candles, for those you who lighting a candle might be helpful for you. Yes. Okay. So we are trapped, or we were trapped. I actually have to say, I feel like you were trapped in this regretful. I released the blame and guilt. This is what the energy was, and frightened. Right? When we're trapped, we are feeling all those things. We cannot move forward. But I feel like the inner light, your inner light, definitely from spirit, is also guiding you. But your own inner light is guiding you out of this energy into something even more, into this happiness. But now we want to also start planning. What is it that we want to do next with whatever it is that's happening? Like, how can we move forward from this? Dreams are also very important, and I feel like that is actually the clear vision, the details that I'm seeing here. For some of you, actually, maybe you have dreams of getting married, because this is like to me like a wedding coming through. Maybe dream fulfillment as well. But paying attention to your dreams. Do not be trapped by these other emotions. Really listening to your light, my friends. That is what I'm seeing here. Oof, very beautiful. I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. I really appreciate that. Do you want my channel to grow? It keeps me coming back for more. I'm beyond grateful that you're here, sharing your energy, sharing your time, and of course sharing your journey with me. Until I see you in the next one, bye-bye, my dear friends. My dear friends, oh, I love this. You have the chemical. So small steps, asking for help. So I know lots of us have trouble asking for help when we need it. And yeah, look at this. Because look, we need help. Sometimes we're feeling trapped. This is the energy there's a lot of this week, where we are feeling a bit stuck and stagnant. And I do feel like the universe is trying to help us and guide us. So small steps, asking for help. So self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. I understand why we would be in the state of being right here, but look, their light is over here. The light is going to guide you out of this energy, which is definitely not a very, like, it's uncomfortable energy. And here with the camel, it's like there are moments, I don't know why. Okay, I'm getting this thing where I say, like, you know, when we're down, sometimes if we have the right, like, we reserved good memories or good energies, or like, I don't know, it's almost feels like calling on your reserves. I don't know why that is what I'm saying. Like, you stored up something, using that energy here. I don't, like, whatever it is, maybe, I don't know in particular. It feels like energy. It feels like not giving up. It feels like, because you have more than you feel like it feels like you have more than you think that you do. It almost feels like you reserve something. You may not have thought of it that way, but it does. Feel like for some of you, I mean, this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like calling in favors. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you've done good karmas, you've done good things. Calling in favors for when you need it, right? To get this out of this energy, and thinking about it. I also feel like if we're thinking too large, we're thinking too big of like a jump, it might be too much for us. Small steps, little by little, a lot gets done, my friends. And we forget that. Look at the moon. Yep, that's the energy. We have the two of swords. We have the magician. I love this. And then we have the ace of cups. Look at that. I love this. So the moon energy. The moon energy is what is, I would say, is keeping us in the self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. Why? It's not a bad thing. It's because we're sort of like, I feel like to me, I sometimes, when I look at the moon, it's like we are kind of facing our own fears, we're facing our fears, right? We're facing the things that we're most scared of, or things that we've been hiding from ourselves. We've been trying to avoid facing something, and then the moon comes in, and we have to face it, right? We do have this two of swords, so we're still in a sense, it's sort of like indecision. And this indecision is again coming from this like self-sabotage, poverty conscious. It's almost like you feel like you are powerless, and then boom, these beautiful cards come and they show you the magician. You have the ability to manifest. You also have the Ace of Cups, which is, again, I almost feel like this is divine help. I really, to me, it feels like you've stored up good karma, and then sort of like call upon it. Like that's sort of like call for favors, or call upon that good karma to help you get you out of this. Doesn't have to be giant steps. Magician is like just telling you how powerful you are. You have the ability to manifest. Maybe not manifest right away, not like where you go and it's and then here you are, you're like all the troubles have disappeared. Maybe that's how it works. But usually when the moon is there, right, and it's a strong one, I do love that there's like this two major arcanas, which are so beautiful and so strong. The moon really is a reflection. It's an internal, we go deeper within ourselves, and it's a reflection of our own fears. And then the magician comes and says, clears the road and says, no, you have a lot of power, right? And then maybe that power comes from asking for help, though. Like sometimes our ego gets in the way here. Lately I've been really delving into that whole ego and how sometimes we block ourselves, and it is self-sabotage, right? It comes from our own, we put the limitations on ourselves and then say, oh, the other people or whatever circumstances. No, it's something, it's from within us, right? It's something in us that is, our reality is reflecting something within ourselves, right? Some sort of struggle that we're having. So, and that's how I look at it too. So it's almost like if we can look at it as whatever it is right now that we're struggling with, or that we're kind of battling, it's sort of, it's like we want to clear it up. It's almost like if we can get over it, right? If we can not get over it, that's the wrong wording. If we can finally both accept it and move forward from it, and release it is it's more like a release, sense of release, right? Then that's the next step. Then we have, then it almost feels like now we're ready for the next step in our course of life, in our course of growth, or in a course of evolution. So what do I want to say? I want to say there's potential for new beginnings. There's a lot more power than you are. So if you're feeling that prison wave, ask for help. Call friends for that positive, like, karma that you've been putting. Ask for actual, like, favors if you need to call them in. Because I feel like you have more ability than you're giving yourself right now. You're sort of like blinding yourself, kind of making yourself not able to take the action that you need to and want to take. But I feel like Spirit is going to help you. So even if you feel like you're stuck, there's like help coming. I can feel it. I'm feeling the fluttering of wings, and I love that. Okay. Let's see what else is coming through. I have engagement. So relationship and sexual needs, loneliness and craving deep connection. Oh, wow. Okay. For some of you, you have been having, and I'm going to take it. So, how do I want to take it? Engagement possibility for some of you, but for others, and maybe that relationship, maybe that's like hard to accept, asking for help, wanting help from others, but maybe that relationship is like, no, you've already given a lot, like receive some of it back. Or for some of you, you feel like you are in this state of loneliness, right? You want the connection, but yet, you know what we do? You imprison yourself. You don't allow yourself to move forward. You don't ask for help, or even like, maybe not even asking for help, but maybe asking somebody else, trying to put yourself out there, right? It's much easier for us to like see like, oh, we're stuck. but I feel like your spirit wants you to move forward. And we also have vampires, so this is important. So being drained of your time and energy, fears from the past that haunt you. Yeah, that's again self-sabotage. And I really, for me, it's actually that moon energy where we're clearing that. That's why the moon is there. It's clearing that out. It's whatever it is that from the past that's been draining you. It has prevented you from moving forward. It's kind of like we need to move forward. Oh, and I love this. And this is Lavender Dreams. Oracle by V Love and Crystals. So mirror. So how you wish to be seen by others, loss of identity, insults, or disagreement. For me, it's not actually that. It's the moon energy again. And it's also a reflection. How do I say this? Sometimes a cluttered space can be a cluttered mind, right? It's sort of like our outside is also reflecting our inside, or our inside is reflecting that on the outside. However you want to look at it, right? So again, that moon energy is making us, and why do we have that mirror? Because we need to finally face it. We need to face that to move forward from it. It's very strong. Oh, I like this. This is a very beautiful reading. I'm like, oh, it's a strong week for you. I can see it, especially because you do have those two major arcanas right there. All right, let's see what other stuff is coming for Collective of Group 5. Let's see. See what else is coming. Oh, okay. We have memories. So memories are coming. I also feel like there's a lot. Do you see those? Do you have that ring which is very like fancy? And it's worth a lot. And then in these memories, there's also like a necklace that's worth a lot. So I feel like there's things that maybe you're not aware of, like how important they are. So we're anticipation, waiting for something. But, and then this is what I always say whenever we're waiting for something, sometimes we have to take that first step. We have to be the ones who are, take that, kind of move forward from things. And we have interference. I wonder, for some of you, that is external interference. Okay, so maybe you have people, but I want to say, I don't want to say it's an external. Okay. How do I want to say this? All right. So if you're having kind of problems with others where you have this interference, where you have maybe energy vampires and stuff, then not looking at them and going like, oh, like, yes, you can get out of that situation. Very like, maybe try to get yourself out of that situation is important. But there's something there that attracted them to you, right? So what is it? Was it like, what was it that brought them here? I'm hoping that I'm making sense. I also feel like that interference is a lot of different kind of thoughts. I feel like you have a lot of thoughts, a lot of different, not necessarily choices, but you don't know what to do because there's so much in your head. And you're wanting something, but I feel like you are a little bit stuck with this in the past. And what I feel like you need to do is now that you have to start at least taking one baby step forward towards where you need to and where you want to be. I hope that makes sense, because you are, again, like, you are the magician. You have the ability to manifest the things that you want. You also have this Ace of Cups. I feel like that's a new beginning for you, but you have to be willing to kind of take that step. And I feel like, because right now you're like, I don't want to, but yes, you kind of have to. I'm so sorry. And then for those who this is interference, and then we do have this vampire, maybe an external thing. What I'm seeing here is that you might have, like, I don't want to say that it's, oh, like, it's your fault. No, what I'm saying is that at that point in time where we attracted these people to ourselves, maybe because I'm looking at these two jewels, I'm like, we didn't value ourselves, or maybe we didn't value our time, right? So now is the time for you to act. So this is what it is. The moon is coming, and I feel like the mirror is showing us. It's like, okay, if this didn't work out, if we have like friends that are vampires, right? If that's what we're surrounded, and they don't actually wish us happiness or whatever, that means that we attracted them because we didn't understand our value, or maybe we like drama at that point in time. But I feel like what we're seeing here is that your evolution is coming, and you're realizing that that's not what you want anymore. What you want is this happiness. What you want is clarity, right? And also, like, if your friends aren't, like, if you need help and your friends can't, like, are not giving it to you, maybe there's something to be considered as well, because I do feel like there's a need for support as well coming through here. I hope this made sense, and if it did, please do consider subscribing. That really would help me a lot. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your time, sharing your energy, and of course sharing your journey with me. Until I see you in the next one, I am sending you so much love, so much light. You have so much power, my friends. Bye bye.